This meeting is
No.
being recorded.
Got it.
There it is.
Now that we get all the technical out of the way, thank you everybody for joining us on this awesome session. We're going to be talking about how sales teams are using AI to close more deals. But today's session is very special because I have two awesome guests with us who can provide so much knowledge on the topic that you're going to walk away with so much information. So stay around until we get through the intros and we go through all the content. I'm really excited about this because it has been a learning curve for me, and working with Tom and Bethany on some of the technologies that are being built has been an eye-opening for us here at VBOUT. Of course, I would like to thank everybody who joined us today. I have over 50 right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to go up to 100 in and out. I might not be able to say all your names, but welcome. You can drop us in the chat where you're calling from, your location, and perhaps what would you like to get out of this session? Obviously, you're joining us because you want to learn how sales teams are leveraging AI to perhaps book more deals, close more deals, grow their business, prospect, whatever it may be. So we're going to be sharing with you those secrets. But because they're secrets, we're going to have to kill you after we share them with you. But of course, feel free to apply them to your own business or share them around. But trust me, what we're about to share with you is just cutting edge and the latest in the industry. So Kim, Aaron, Adriana, Alex, Alfredo, Blaine, Bob, Cameron, Dave, and again, I can't really get to everybody. We have a high attendance today. Obviously, the topic is pretty awesome. Thank you for joining us. If you don't know, VBOUT has been doing these for about 4 years now, but in person since 10 years. We moved from being a physical meeting to an online meeting, which lets a lot more people attend, and the content is a lot more easy to record, distribute, and so on. The community is about 20,000 members plus and 100 plus thousand reach. The community, I'm talking about the engaged kind of meetup sign up that talks about topics. But of course, the meetup community, the VBOUT community direct is a lot bigger than that. If you'd love to join us on Facebook, we have a group where we share some of the latest releases, event invitations. People communicate a lot in terms of marketing tips, tricks, VBOUT related stuff as well. George will be dropping in the chat a link to the group if you would like to be on top of these things, and also our TikTok page. If you would like to support us, we'll try to reciprocate back with a follow as well. The general layout of this session is as usual. We're going to be doing the intros. We dive into the presentation. Today is going to be like a roundtable discussion, and we can do Q&As at the end. Now, if you've been on these sessions before, you know we leave the Q&As for even in between. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. George will help moderate on this. I'll try to answer every single question towards the end. But these questions should not be about our technical issues with your VBOUT instance, technical questions. We can leave these towards the end if you don't mind. Or of course, you can send them to your support via the live chat. So without further ado, I just want to provide a quick intro for our awesome guest for today, Bethany Stackenfeld. Hopefully I didn't butcher your last name. Is the co-founder and CEO of SenseSpark. SenseSpark is the perfect alternative to Loom. Actually, I love it a lot more than Loom because they have a lot more sales-driven tools. But you can record your screen shares, you can personalize videos at scale, you can insert them inside your emails, LinkedIn invites, and they have so many integrations right out of the box that they blow Loom out of, in my opinion, they're a much better tool. So I highly encourage you check out SenseSpark, and the tool that Bethany is going to share with us today is definitely going to be a game changer for you as a sales organization, or if you have a sales team. So Bethany, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I also have with us Tom Slocum, who is, if you follow Tom, he's super active on LinkedIn, all things sales related. I know your pitch on LinkedIn is is pretty cool, so thanks for being different on that. He is also the founder of the SD Lab. They technically help teams that are forming sales units to optimize their outbound processes, their sales processes. They review the scripts, they put the strategy together. So if you are building your outbound sales strategy and you want the right people to help, Tom and his team can certainly be the crew to contact. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. All right, and then I have VBOUT, which I would like to just take a minute to introduce. VBOUT is our company who's been sponsoring these events. So I'll play this quick video so I don't bore you with my stuff, but it's a short 50 seconds.
If you're marketing online, you should be using VBOUT. It's a platform to manage everything in one place. Email and nurture campaigns, visual automation, social media, landing pages, meeting scheduling, lead scoring, pipeline management, and campaign reporting. Make gorgeous emails from scratch or select from dozens of high converting templates. Score the best leads and add them to automations to drive more conversion. Schedule and post to all your favorite social platforms with the best creative from Canva and Pixabay. Engage your fans directly and measure content performance in real time. Easily create beautiful, responsive landing pages and forms to capture leads and register people for webinars on Zoom or GoToMeeting. VBOUT combines everything your marketing and sales team needs in one place. If you're an agency, manage client accounts with custom plans and full white label capability. Marketing online has never been easier. Go to VBOUT.com and try it free today.
So that's the self-promotion here real quick. And I have to do this because many of you are already power users of VBOUT. Some of you spend hours a day just building campaigns, and many of you are digital agencies who use this at scale as well to resell to their clients, organize their entire marketing infrastructure. So if you're new to VBOUT and you don't know what we provide, we give you the stack that you need to build your lead generation and nurture campaigns. So we have about 14 tools working in combination together or individually to let you launch lead gen through forms, landing pages, and pop-ups. Then to nurture those leads with smart automations, and I'm going to share briefly with you some of those features. And then we have a lot of AI integrations that let you retain the leads and market more efficiently. So these are the tools that are working together to help you optimize your marketing. If you're looking for a product that could either replace your existing solution, perhaps you're using HubSpot or you're using MailChimp and you're not happy with either, we can be the perfect in between. So that's VBOUT for you. We focus on being a simple interface, very well priced. We have premium support, baked AI into it. And if you have been with us for years, we have certainly shown a great progression to our product features. We have improved and we have listened, most importantly, to you guys. Thank you so much for providing all the feedback over the years. All right. We are up to 73. Welcome everybody who's just joined. A couple of housekeeping items. We will be sharing the recording and the slides for this presentation with you after, maybe in a day or so. If you're a VBOUT agency partner, we provide all these awesome PowerPoint presentations raw so you can repurpose them for your own. And we have so many of you already doing that. I know a lot of you launch their own events at the end of the week, right following our event, because all our content can be easily repurposed. Also, if you have questions, drop it in the chat. We'll do our best to get to every single question where we can. And today is very special because I have two awesome guests with us who are going to be participating in my presentation. All right, drop us in the chat, you guys. Where are you calling from? And what would you like to get in terms of your sales process? What do you want to get out of this session today? All right, so I have many of you who answered. Making a heart with your hands will send everyone love. All right, here you go, Chaplain. Just love for everybody. Some of you wanted to get, some insights on VBOUT and AI sales. Many actually have answered that they love using SenseSpark. There you go, Bethany. You have users already on the call. So that's great. All right, so let's get started. The way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna be going through the slides as usual. I'll be getting Bethany and Tom on the call, and please feel free to interject any given time that you want to add value to what we're doing. A quick mic check here. Can everybody hear me and my audio and my camera okay?
Yes, Richard, it's great.
Thank you. It's hard doing these calls all the time and not getting the feedback from the other side. Is a completely different game than doing it live. So it's good to check from time to time. All right. Cool. So let's dive into the importance of using AI. You've probably seen these charts. Everybody talks about AI, how it's going to change our lives. I'm a big believer of this, but particularly in sales. And because we are learning how to optimize our sales using AI, how likely are you trust a business that uses artificial intelligence? That's a question with a lot of data to back it up. So you have, as you can see, about 32% said somewhat likely they would trust a company using AI in the sales approach. 33% very likely, that's the highest number on the chart. And the rest are segmented into smaller parts. Now, my belief is that this particular data is based on very mediocre outreach out there, even with AI. A lot of companies, the bulk of the stuff they're doing, when using AI, they're doing it wrong. They just write a copy using a ChatGPT or other. Of course, that's one of the best forms of using it. They send out the emails outreach, and people are already starting to understand and see when a copy has been written through AI, right? That's the reason the very likely is not higher than that. Hopefully, we're about to change this with some of the techniques that we will share today. So 61% of high growth companies are actually using AI-powered sales prospecting tools. You definitely want to jump on board. And these high growth companies, meaning companies that are growing very fast, they're closing a lot of deals, they have huge pipelines in business, and so on. 65% of customers say they will trust the business using AI. So that's the combination of those two, more or less. And 75% of prospects are more likely to engage if they receive hyper-personalized content. And that's really the focus of today, is how we can hyper-personalize outreach using AI. So even if the client or the prospect can detect AI in the process, they're actually wowed by it and they're seeing the effort that you're putting in, okay? So these are some of the sales or some of the numbers in terms of the importance of using AI in your sales strategy. Tom or Bethany, would you like to add anything to this? Have you seen higher numbers in your processes or customer base?
One thing I'll add is, like, I think a big power of AI right now is to automate like tedious, repetitive work that you might have been doing before. So it frees up more time to focus on the things that really should be personalized. And so that's really powerful. I think sometimes where it gets misused is when people try to use it to do like the personalization work for them. But if you think of how does this free up my time so I can focus on human tasks, it's a superpower.
Exactly. Yeah. So efficiency. If it helps you free up so much time on some of the tedious tasks to optimize other parts of the business. Tom, what do you think?
I'm in an agreement, right? I think AI is not to replace the human element of your business, which is the actual engagement with your clients, your prospects, that process. However, it is allowing you to save time, be way more efficient in figuring out where you should go and doing the mundane stuff, right? Like the stuff that's unnecessary that for so many years we had to be boggled down with and tied to, that we were trying to cheat and spam email, do things at a higher volume because you were so limited because you were doing everything. Now, with removing those roadblocks and barriers, your whole day can actually be spent selling, building relationships, and bringing the human element to your prospects and clients, while that other stuff can just be kind of done for you and set off and cleared up.
That's great. That's great. So again, another part is efficiency, time savings, and that's the most expensive, non-replaceable asset of your life is the time spent on doing things. And if you can regain back that time, which nobody can. Awesome. Thank you for the added content. Now, in terms of how we're going to go through some of this, we try to break this down into the three-phase process of a sales a typical sale. And I know there could be more, could be less. Every company is different. But if we are to break down or summarize the sales process, we have prospecting, we have outreach, and then we have closing. So I'm going to go through every single one of these stages, and I'm going to show you live as much as I can how some of these tools that are being used are actually going to optimize the process using AI, particularly using AI, because there are so many tools. I cannot cover every single one. And there's so much time that you spend on each one. So I'll be very brief, but I want you to be aware how these can benefit and how they're adopting AI in the process. So let's talk about the first phase, which is prospecting. And if you're not familiar with prospecting, if it's your first time in outbound sales, prospecting is technically finding your ideal customer profile by doing rigorous research. Who are your potential buyers out there? Where are they engaging? How can you be in touch? So the prospecting phase is technically exactly that. But not only it entitles finding your ICP, but you want to find those who are ready to buy now. Now, I don't know if you are aware with the Chat Homes buying pyramid, but at any given time, your buyers are usually, or the people in your industry who are ready to buy are at the top of the pyramid right here. So 3% of them are ready to buy now. Okay. And they're probably researching your competitors amongst hundreds, if not thousands of solutions. They have 6 to 7%. They're not really necessarily out buying, but they're open for it. That means given if you present to them the proper solution and you entice them enough with the right price and the right offer, they might actually go out and buy the product. And then you have the 30% who are not thinking about it, the 30% who don't think they're interested at all, and then obviously those who are not interested. You don't want to target the 30%, but there's an opportunity for you at the 3%, the 6 to 7, and perhaps leveraging the 30% who are not thinking about it today as an outlier to become eventually when ready to buy or open to it. Okay, so that's part of the prospecting, is understanding this kind of pyramid scheme and how you're only targeting a very small percentage of the buyers out there. How do you find them, and so on. And the role of AI in all of this is that it can analyze so much data out there, be it using third party or things you built yourself, to identify intent. And intent is probably going to be a topic that's going to resurface. Also interests, signals, and conversations. For example, if you happen to stumble upon Tom's profile on LinkedIn, Tom talks a lot about sales and sales outreach. So he has a lot of interest in that particular area. And then there are some intent to purchase. This intent could be perhaps the pixel of some of the products on the website that Tom has that's about to renew because it's been a year. Most contracts are 1 year at a time. Or it could be a survey that Tom has filled. So all that data is available for AI to sift through, analyze, and be provided to you so you can qualify those ICPs. So this is the prospecting phase, and I'm about to add or dive into some of the tools that are being used in this. Anything you'd like to add, Tom or Bethany, please feel free to do so. Awesome.
Not yet, but I'll have a lot more to say later.
Yeah.
I'm just going to count on you to interject at any given time. So I'm not keep on asking you. I just want to be mindful that you have a lot of thoughts to bring forth. And I know you're going to be presenting your own thoughts in a minute.
This is a good one though, right? Like this is a good reason for AI if you're not doing it, because if your prospects are out there, right, they've got a good and rich profile. Some of them have been posting or out in the mix before 2020, right? ChatGPT, some of these tools will be able to find them and give you that research, right? You can look up what they're focused on. You can digest a podcast. So if they've done an episode, you can go in there, find some bullet points, and that helps you kind of bring in relevancy into your messaging, right? And be super like, not spammy, but like, hey, Beth, I've seen your recent podcast. I saw you talk about these 2 points. this is how it ties into what I'm reaching out for, right? And it helps you go through that. Because there's so much data on somebody that even from a human nature's perspective, it's hard to digest and go through, and you don't have a lot of time. So with AI, you're able to find that research, you're able to even drill down into past data in your CRM and like find lead scoring, right? And figure out who the best fit would be. It'll do all of that. And it just makes you run smarter, not harder, right? This just allows you to work a lot more effectively and kind of find that 3% that is buying now, that 6 to 7% that might be open to it versus you tackling everybody who, they're not interested or you're just wasting your time.
Exactly. And that's definitely part of the closing part as well, is how the CRM or AI capabilities in CRMs can change this. So thank you, Tom, for adding this. Now let's look at some of the tools that are being used in the prospecting phase. I'm going to start by LinkedIn Sales Now because they were also they introduced some awesome tools recently that could definitely help you in the process. I think the first tool that they provided, if you're a premium user, just to emphasize, I'm not sure if this is with the free, but I do have Sales Premium with LinkedIn. They have underneath every post a sales takeaway, or some additional questions that use generative AI on the right side to give you some ideas on how to respond to posts, how to ask follow-up questions, how to comment, or even to summarize large form posts. Now, this is important because if you're doing sales, outbound sales, you definitely want to use LinkedIn to engage with your prospects. If they're noticing that you're commenting, you're liking, you're most likely going to end up in their chat notifications, and they will start to get familiar with your name. And I did create this whole thing where I literally just profiled every single place where you can see LinkedIn. Let me just show it to you real quick. Like every notification panel and how your name shows up. So let me just scroll up for a second. All right, so if you get an email, you can see how your headline in the email shows up. So if you're doing sales outbound, this headline in the email definitely helps. If you follow somebody, the notification panel of the person you follow, who's technically your prospect, they're going to start to get familiarized with your face and with your name. So having proper headshot definitely helps. Other things as well, mentions shows up like this. And trust me, if somebody's posting and active on LinkedIn, they want to get engagement. That's part of what we post, is spread the knowledge to become authority in the field. So any type of engagement shows up in the notification panel as a way for you to kind of reverse engineer that in order for you to sort of stand out. So this is why, coming back to this, is instead of having to sift through so much content on your prospects, you can use the takeaway option to have bullet points and summaries, and you can engage and comment a lot faster. So that optimizes that process. So that's a feature that's available in Sales Nav. Now, Sales Nav, if you're not familiar with it, they also introduced something new, which is called their IQ, which summarizes a lot of signals on companies, but it has some issues. So I'm just going to choose random stuff right now. This is, for instance, a chart of some of the accounts that I follow. It shows you the buyer intent, and this is important, right? We talk about intent is the propensity, or somebody is out there interested in your product. I do believe LinkedIn right now is only basing this on a company's engagement with your own LinkedIn company, so it's not 100% accurate. But overall, they do have the buyer intent, which you can leverage from here. If you click on any of the profiles and you go to their companies, the sales account IQ is right here. This gives you a lot more details, like the organizational chart, the org chart is called in the process. They give you the names of some of like the mapping or the relationships amongst your network, the buyer activity, if any. This is still, I haven't seen this populate well, but you can see they are introducing a lot more AI features into their sales nav, so you can find the prospect and also find the decision makers at the company. They also have the people, the alerts. The alerts is the one I'm looking forward towards as well, because when somebody shares an update, it's fresh. You definitely want to comment or engage with that update. So this is an instance of them reposting, and it's easy for me to comment and engage. Okay, so that's the first tool, really. I know there's a lot more to Sales Nav, but I wanted to share with you that baked into it are already some AI sales capabilities. Anything you'd like to add, Tom? Have you used anything in particular here that I haven't pointed out could be of value?
Nah, I mean, this is, a huge tool and feature to dive into. I mean, you can build an org chart right there, which I think is so fun to build out and map and kind of figure out where you can make intros. You can now use the AI function, right? Account IQ, some of those features you mentioned, to where now it can start filtering and taking the moves that you're making. The whole point is the more you feed it, the more enriched it will get. So it's just a lot of getting in there, optimizing it, adding in things. But no, you've hit majority of it. I live and breathe here. I'm sure Bethany does too. Like, this is a place where I'm constantly in, because it just makes things a lot easier, right? The intent, yeah, you could see here, you've got a lot of neutrals, kind of shows you everything you need, and then you could start building out your intro to get in there with the right people.
That's great. I'm a big fan of Sales Nav, but it comes to a point where it hits a limit. You're confined to the Sales Nav platform. So if you want to take those leads outside of Sales Nav, it's really hard to do. Obviously, they have very limited sales and outreach capabilities. You're just going to have to message them and wait. So you definitely want to start here, maybe, and then move out of it to other tools. Now, if you're doing some enterprise level and you have only a very limited number of leads you can hit a day, like let's say 10 or 15, maybe you can work directly from here, but you'll be lacking on the email side of things. That's my only opinion about Sales Nav so far. Cool. So yes, part of the premium membership, and by the way, I'm not affiliated with any of those products I'm talking about today. I'm not reselling any of those products. Of course, VBOUT is going to be listed, and this is our company. I'm the co-founder. With that, I will mention VBOUT. That's the only company I have a relationship with, but all the other companies are just strictly us using them and finding the benefits in them. Okay. All right. Here comes the second product, which many of you might use. Apollo is actually killing it, because what Apollo is a leads database. It has the sales features baked into it, and it's extremely affordable. You can start at $100 a month. We use it for doing some general research. Now, the power about it is that it provides deep insights on your leads and things like firmographic, demographic signals, intent, and even the technologies companies are using. I'm going to show you how you can use some of that directly in a minute. They also have AI integrated features like intent, email copywriting, and so on. It does a lot of the work as well. You can build a sequence in there. And most importantly, they have, faced with LinkedIn, their own plugins that you can activate, or Chrome extensions, or whatever browser you use, so you can get the lead details directly from the browser. Sorry, here, just 1 second. I want to try to show you if I can. The only issue with their Chrome plugin is that it's sometimes it throws off some of the pages, so I need to disable it and then activate it again. Here we go. So if I am, it doesn't need premium. You can be on any LinkedIn for that matter. So I'm just going to visit my homepage, grab somebody's details. Just let's say Nassim from Carbon 6. Now you'll see right here, it has this utility that could save the contact directly into your account, and you can grab the email address of that person. That's the real power of Apollo, or one of the main powers of Apollo. So it's a really helpful tool, and you can certainly use it. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the deeper kind of prospecting features. Okay, now search and finding the right people, or ICP, is definitely helpful, but they do have within their search things like building your own lists, creating a persona, like you're looking after digital agencies, let's say. So I'm just going to choose digital agencies. And now you will see some of their new stuff that are supposedly third-party and AI at the same time, as you can find companies with high buying intent and specific intent topics. Now, I already pre-chose like email campaigns in the case of VBOUT. So if I would like to speak to anybody here, all I need to do is click on their profile, enrich the lead, and now they give me pretty much everything that I need, coming back to my presentation, in terms of firmographic, demographic signals, intent, and technologies, okay? So it would look, this is the company details, what stage they are in, the year founded, how many employees. Obviously, this is where your ICP qualification can take place, just a level up from doing it high level. They also tell you the technologies they're using on their website. And if you're not too happy with this, there are tools out there that are available. One of them is called Built With, which interfaces over certain websites and could grab the technologies that they're using. And the reason this is helpful, let's say you are in HR and payroll service, and you want to identify companies that are using payroll services so you can go after them and try to sell them your service, right? Gusto is definitely a great product, and this company is using them. So you know there's a relevant conversation for you to have with this company. So that's why technologies, also called technographic details, is quite interesting. The rest of the stuff, like job postings, if somebody's hiring a new, digital marketing manager or a new HR person, in some cases, it could be a good time to speak to that company. If you're if you're selling onboarding software or employee training, this is a perfect signal for you. So this is part of the process that you can use Apollo with in the first step of the sales, which is prospecting. All right, so that's for Apollo. If Tom, Bethany, do you guys use Apollo at all?
I do. It's a big one. There's a lot, like you said, of high buying intent. You can really drill down into leads. I like that. One small factor when you're pulling leads is you can look at who's likely to engage in your email and who's verified. So again, when you're pulling, you don't have to just get the whole database. You can find the best quality to help with your deliverability, scoring, all of that. I like it. It's a real easy, accessible tool for people. And you can get real nitty gritty.
Perfect.
Yeah, I would agree. And you kind of touched on this, but I'd say I really like combining it with using like LinkedIn data to kind of figure out who has the intent, who's taking certain actions. Like we'll often pull our like shortlist from LinkedIn, and then we'll use Apollo to get the email addresses.
That's great. So you create your list first on LinkedIn, then you grab that and add it to Apollo. That's a great way to do it. So there you go. The first process is use Sales Nav, but I don't think you need Sales Nav. You can just do regular search. The Sales Navigator in LinkedIn, it just helps you dive deeper into your personas. And from there, you can import some of that stuff directly into Apollo. Thank you.
It comes right up on LinkedIn. You can just push it, right? If you go to search on LinkedIn, you type in your persona, whatever you're looking for. It's so cool because you can just push right to Apollo. And then from within Apollo, drill down into, like Beth said, like who's doing growth, who just did a recent thing of funding, like what triggers are they looking for? And then you throw in SendSpark dynamic video, which we'll get to. Like the three of those in one unity, like that's the trinity. Go to LinkedIn, hit Apollo, then throw in personalized video with dynamic, and you're off to the races.
I agree. Awesome. All right, quick pause here to see if anybody with us has asked any questions. How are you guys loving this? Yeah, I know many of you said we love Apollo. Aaron, that he did a survey. I understand so far clients online are using chat for AI. Absolutely. Chat is a great component for engagement. If you're liking the content so far, put the thumbs up, and it's about to get even better very soon. Thank you, Eric. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all the tools for the prospecting, but I do have Zoom Info is another great product. Now it is pricey. So if you're using Zoom Info, expect to be paying, I don't know what the starting point, 6,000 plus a year. And it can go up to 20, 30 grand or more per user. So that's another great tool for you to explore. They have some AI tools baked into it. They are the leaders in that space. Primarily, I would believe B2B, if you're focused on that. And they have some AI insights and lead scoring too. All right, so these are some of the things. Go ahead and jump into the outreach. So the outreach process is the second phase of prospecting. And this is where we have identified our prospects. We built the list, we cleaned up all the fields, and now we're ready to do an outreach. And this is an interesting part. So once a prospect is identified, now we need to talk to them to identify if this is a fit or not. We can communicate with those potential prospects or potential leads via different channels, obviously emails, SMS, you can do phone calls, you can deploy social media to connect with them, you can do in-person meetings. Some people are also using WhatsApp nowadays to try to book appointments. I don't know if that's invasive or not, but there's a channel there that's going to grow in the next year. And you'll see a lot more companies trying to book you and communicate with you via WhatsApp. One is because it doesn't have as much regulations as SMS. Two, they're charging now. If you don't know, Facebook has opened the opportunity for you to use the service, but you have to pay per SMS if you're using it as a business. So they are identifying or crafting their niche, if you want to call it. And the purpose, obviously, is to have a direct conversation, make sure they understand what you're offering, and also determine real quick if they are a good fit and you should invest more time in showing them the solution, doing the follow-ups, proposals, and so on. So that's the general purpose of the outreach. All right, so let's talk about some of the tools available. Now, Gemini from Google is probably like a month now from their release. They have advanced and different versions that you can pay. But one great feature that I'm still waiting for them to roll out to everybody is their Gemini Advanced integration with Workspace. And the way this works is it integrates with your entire Google Slides, Google Excel, which is the Google Sheets, Google Docs. And they have these utilities right there, so you can generate PowerPoint slides, you can write emails, you can create analysis on your Excel directly from your Google Sheets or your Google Workspace. So they haven't rolled it out to everybody. It is $20 additional per user per month. So if you're already paying $15 per user, expect an additional $20 per, which could be substantially high if you have 50 or 100 people in your org. But you can, I believe, install it to specific users at the org side, not to the entire organization. So that's a great tool to optimize the way that you work. And sales teams are already starting using it to create copies, proposals, and landing pages, at least those who had access to it now. And I think soon they're going to have some additional features like short videos, translation services, so you can translate your pitch into multiple languages with your own voice very easily. So a lot more to come when it comes to Gemini. Now, one of the features they had access to, that's the only feature I can actually show you, is just writing an email. Let me see if I can just get to that real quick. Right. And I know it's one of those things where they say it's not rolled out yet. You're just gonna have to wait. And I did a whole bunch of video tutorials on how you can integrate AI slide making into your Google Sheets and Google presentations. But now you won't need those third-party tools, right? You can just immediately or directly do it from Google Sheets itself. All right. Sorry, guys, I have a couple of screens overlaying, so that's having some issues with this.
How many tabs you got open, Richard? What's the number?
I lost count. I just get a bunch of salt and the same amount of grains. All right, so let's see here. So they now have this little option right here that helps you write emails directly. So if for some reason you're not sure of what to write, you simply click on this icon right here, and you can write the prompt, and within the thread itself, just get the response that you want. Could you do this with ChatGPT and others? Yes, you can. But the fact that it's integrated direct definitely helps. Okay. So
Are you
it's
gonna send Dan a note?
yeah, so if I want to send Dan a note, this is a thread between us. Exactly. Thank you. I just say, help me write. And I say, tell Dan, thank you. We solved the issue. And just create. So the convenience of this for me is just amazing to see the technology be so easy to use and it's fully integrated.
Yeah, that's a game changer because ChatGPT, you have to like copy paste. It doesn't integrate into anything. With Gemini, you're able to just have it on all those Google places and it's just built right in, which is a lot easier.
Exactly. And I think it analyzes the entire thread. So if you have, in some cases, like I
That's
do,
crazy.
100 messages back, it has a little bit more context than having it with via third party. So this is the only thing I have from the Gemini suite. Now I do use their Pro Gemini as well. It's as good as ChatGPT so far, but sometimes it bugs out when you ask follow-up questions. That's the only limitations with it.
By the way,
Yes.
Rich, Peter Burson asked a question saying he did not have the AI wand. Is it part of Google's lab?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm paying for it. And I installed it on my workspace. I paid $20 a month for the Gemini features.
Okay.
And FYI, they're giving out a 60-day free trial on that. So for those in the crowd, if you do go and look up Gemini, you can do it for free for 60 days on that advanced before you upgrade. So they'll at least let you play around with it. So that's a way to get the wand and at least determine if the basic plan is enough or if that pro is worth it. They do give you 60 days.
Yep. And one great thing that I noticed that Gemini does really well, up to date, that I couldn't do in ChatGPT as accurately is I got questions one time about 4 products and how we stack up against those products. So I literally went in here and I created a chart. This is not it, but something similar. And I asked Gemini to analyze the pricing from these 4 pages and then to create a chart just like this one that I can, use for my and then literally just analyze every single page pricing, parse it in a nice format. And then what I do here is I say export to sheets. And now I have a full-on sheet that's ready to.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, right? Like, all right, let's do that. That is really cool. I will say that's pretty dope, Richard. Nice work.
Definitely worth mentioning, $20 a month, 90 days free or 60 days free. Check it out, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so we have ChatGPT, which obviously everybody uses, but the power of ChatGPT against everything else is now they have custom GPTs specializing in specific things. For example, if you just type in sales in the GPTs, and this is, by the way, only available via the paid version, which I pay for $20 a month as well, is if you type in sales, you can see all these specialized GPTs for like strategic sales guides, copy for sales copywriters, sales trainers, and sales coach. There's so many of them that already kind of specialize in that one particular topic. And the difference between using Gemini, let's say, is that you don't have to give a lot of context. It knows exactly what to focus on. And then OpenAI also has APIs, which powers, I believe, the majority of the products on the market that are putting AI in their website, right? Or in their products. So with that being said, OpenAI is probably the leader in this space. And a lot of sales tools are using those models in the background from OpenAI to give you those sales insights. Please, Tom, do you wanted to add something?
No, I use ChatGPT for a lot. And now that you can have the custom GPTs, it's way different, right? I have friends who have made them. There's ones that are for a lawyer, a sales coach, a content creator, or content writer. And then all the add-ons, like you can integrate straight into Canva and have designs made or find templates that would work. There's a lot you could do in ChatGPT.
Yep.
Issue is you just have to feed it a lot of information. That's where people miss. Is you have to feed it and get it up to date because it doesn't go, I think, before 2020. So like if you go and like ask it to write to me, it won't really have a lot to say. But if you ask it to write towards, Morgan Ingram or, Scott Leese, anybody that's been out there creating content and kind of familiar, it'll do a lot for you. But it's outdated. So you have to kind of feed it a lot of stuff in order to get it up to speed. But you can't beat ChatGPT. It's wild. Everybody uses it for something.
Exactly.
Adriana
Use it,
asked,
Bethany?
yeah, I was gonna say, Adriana asked how many LLMs we're all paying for. I would say the only one I'm actually paying for, great question. Personally, is ChatGPT, like on the $20 plan, like I use it for a lot of different things. And different people on our team use it for different things too, right? I thought Gemini looked cool. I might try that out. And then obviously for SenseFire, we have more LMs built in. And for that, you actually kind of need multiple, because even though a lot of them are cool, like there's oftentimes one might be down and you want to have a backup. So like your customers don't experience delays and things like that. Yeah, definitely a lot of good options on the market, and ChatGPT is
Yeah.
And look,
I'm only paying for that one. Go
ChatGPT
ahead,
has
Ricky.
set the standard for $20 a month. They pretty much went out. There's like $20, and now everybody's following. Even there's an interview with the founder of Perplexity AI, which is like a search engine that's a lot more precise and accurate. Well, with resources, he's like, everybody's following the $20 a month model when it comes to these language models. And now Claude 3 came out, and everybody's bragging about it as well. So I think you should just pay for one. And use the other ones' free trials, compare which one you like the most. ChatGPT's APIs and integrations definitely the best.
Yeah, it's the only one I pay for outside of copy.ai, where Kyle Coleman just joined as CMO. That's another good one. It's worth the upgrade. Copy.ai, a little bit more in tune when going to write things. And it kind of has a lot of use cases, a lot of great prompts already given to you. So if somebody asked, what prompts are you using? That one kind of comes with them. The thing about ChatGPT that a lot of people struggle with is what to tell it to do, how to get it to work in your favor. They go and type something, and what they get back is clearly not what they were looking for. Where copy.ai will like give you that direction and throw some things in your way. But yeah, I'm really only paying for ChatGPT because it has everything. You can do visuals, you can do all kinds of content, you can add in integrations to get to like Google Sheets and things like that. So it can do the formulas and all the same stuff. Only reason I would use Gemini is because it's just already like integrated, which you've changed my mind on. I think that's pretty cool that it just lives there already. Because ChatGPT, you have to do everything from there and then move it around and push it to places. But yeah.
Exactly. If you're doing workspace, invest in the Gemini for the future. Go ahead.
I'll throw a +1 to Copy AI. I first saw the platform like maybe a year or two ago and thought it looked similar to the other ones. And I just saw it more recently, like a couple weeks ago, and it's crazy cool. They have like that like gives you really specific, interesting prompts for different things. I think they formally announced it today. But if you haven't checked it out in a while, look at the new stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, you have to, if you haven't looked at it in like the last 90 days, just like 4 months, please go and check it out because it is completely different than where it was 6 months to a year ago. 6 months to a year ago, it was kind of average. ChatGPT came on the scene, it was a little different, but now, like the last 4 months, they've been running extra daylight and burning midnight oil, and it's come a long way. Very nice platform.
Thank you for the share. Copy.ai is the product being recommended. Thank you for that. All right. Now let's talk about also some of the hyper personalization. This is really key, guys. And that's the main reason I brought Bethany, is because they built the product and she's the CEO of the company. So she has first dibs on this. But one of the main things right now is that I would say 99% of email outreach and LinkedIn connections are just way below average, like mediocre, just low quality. Now, how do you stand out is the key. And a lot of companies invest so much money. I mean, somebody mentioned Clay. Clay is a great prospecting tool that lets you personalize based on things, but in my opinion, is not enough. People want to see something written specifically for them. And this is exactly what Bethany set out to do with her team. Now, they already have things built from a couple of years where you can personalize a video with somebody's name typed on the video and animated GIFs. but they do have a lot more built now. So without further ado, I'm going to leave this for you, Bethany, to just share with us how your tool works right now with the hyper dynamic videos and how you're using AI to personalize these videos at scale as well. You can share your screen if you like, or I can share mine with the access to my own instance, whatever you like.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll share mine, assuming I can. But just to give a quick intro for SenseSpark, like our goal is how do we help you personalize what needs to be personalized with video, but then automate everything else to really be able to scale yourself. And when it comes to like top of funnel, like prospecting, as well as like reaching out to people on LinkedIn, ideally you want to group the people you're reaching out to into specific cohorts, maybe based on their role, their title, or certain action signal they took. But everyone within that group, you're going to be sending basically the same message to, and maybe just want to change their name. So what we've done with SenseSpark is let you create personalized videos kind of the way you would with like Loom or Vidyard or another video recording platform, but then dynamically change out the name in different parts of the video. So you're really able to scale. You're not going to be recording videos one-on-one. You're just going to be able to take one video of yourself and personalize it for everyone. And if you guys look at the slides, I threw a screenshot of one of an A/B test for a connector campaign that we are running, reaching out to people on LinkedIn. And we do pretty personalized cohorts. So you can see even on the connection campaign without video, we were getting a 30% reply, but on the version with video that doubled to 60%. I didn't try to share my screen yet. Sorry, I'll show it in a second. So yeah, so I just keep in mind like video can be really powerful as a way to start more conversations. Our name comes from send a video, spark a conversation, and create more engagement. So I guess if you want to demo this on your end,
you tell me if you want me to. And we started using it. This is really amazing for me. With the dynamic video, because what you can do is not only personalize, you speak and then let's say you want to communicate with a company. You can either record 100 videos and have the background of the company show up, which makes it relevant to them. So if you send a video to somebody and the video or the website of the company is in the background, they're paying attention. If you're sending a video of yourself speaking, they're probably it's not as doesn't relate as much. So this is really the problem you solved, right, Bethany?
Yeah.
The dynamic video. Okay. Please go
This
ahead.
feature is so slept on. I'm addicted to this thing. Bethany got me hooked. It's so cool. It integrates into Apollo. You can integrate it into a couple prospecting tools. And it's different. It's very, very cool. You used to have to do these videos all one by one, and now you can just load them on up.
Yeah, so I mean, look, if I am to take an Apollo export, okay, I'm just gonna take somebody random, and I have their website on one of the fields. What you did here, I can take the website and the name of the person and the email, upload them into your SenseSpark, and you're immediately changing the background to whatever URL you parsed. In this case, I use LinkedIn. I was trying to get LinkedIn in the background of the person with their face that I'm speaking to. There's a little problem there is sometimes the background image comes out in Russian or different language because you're probably using proxies.
You really want to use like a post URL for this right now.
Yeah.
We're actually about to add a special authentication into LinkedIn. But you want to use a public URL because otherwise, yeah, you is like not logged into LinkedIn.
Exactly. So use the website. I think the website is what we're going to be using. But then what you can do is you upload the Excel, you generate those hundreds of videos, highly personalized. But the key here is that the name of the person, and I think your pitch was pineapple. Why pineapple?
Watermelon. So you record the video and yeah, you say, hi, watermelon. And then we replace the word watermelon with your viewer's first name. The reason for that, just watermelon has really good mouth movement. So it makes it easy to like synchronize the voice and make it seem really realistic.
So you record one video and the video goes something like, hello, watermelon. I'm interested. I noticed that you're doing XYZ. I would love to have a quick conversation with you to see if we can help you on this front. That's one pitch, one video, and you're replacing the watermelon with the name field from the Excel upload, right? So you're finding that first name, and you're changing the word watermelon to that, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. I mean, these are 3 samples. One of them was Ricardo. So if I click on that and you can hear it, hopefully.
Oh, we can't hear the sound.
Oops. All right. Let me just,
You have to like click share with sound when you share it.
yeah, I can do share sound for some reason because I'm doing multiple, I have multiple guests, but
Maybe
yeah,
just chuck one in the chat, just so people can see it, just so you know it's real, guys.
yeah, I'm gonna put in the link right here. Yeah, I can't share the video for some reason. The audio.
I prepped a couple with your guys' names, so if you want, I can show that. Oh, no, you got them. Okay, perfect. So people can click and you can hear them.
And you guys, I highly encourage you to try them out. This is a very brief demo. Obviously, we're limited on time here. We have a lot more to cover, but you can literally do this. Generate all these videos personalized with the name of the person, the website in the background, in one click via one upload in one video. And then you click share campaign. And let's say you're integrating with VBOUT. Now, all you got to do is just take that information of the person, which is like, let's say video URL. And I already created this landing page on VBOUT. So if I'm sending 1,000 emails and people click through the email, they're going to land on this page and they're going to see their video in the background that they could play with their name, with their background image, and obviously it's highly personalized. So this is really the power of what you're doing, which is really amazing.
I'll
can't.
link in the chat too. It just would say we have a free day, a 7-day free trial too. So if anyone wants to just try it out, test with your own voice, send some LinkedIn connection request video, then I'll put the link below.
Thank you, Bethany.
You could share your post, Bethany, too, on your experiment where you actually put it in the connection request. I think that was really creative too, to where they could just capture it from there.
Yeah, let me grab that. I'll share that as well.
So I think the key is that integrates with email really well, and also within LinkedIn. So if you're sending connection invites or you have a follow-up message. So if you're using some tools to automate LinkedIn outreach, there are plenty of them out there. You can upload the URLs to your video, and just by adding that URL inside the video, and I'll show you an example, it displays that video in there. So let me see if I can just show an example. I know we're testing. So you see, just the URL itself displays the personalized video in the background, okay? And we seem to be focused on this, but it's a night and day between this type of outreach, and I can show you, like all these people trying to sell me on something, which they have no direct relationship. They're just sending me their pitch decks, their websites. That doesn't mean much to me. That personalization matters. All right. Anything else you'd like to add, Bethany, to this? I know I did my best.
No, that was a great demo. Yeah, I would say I would recommend using like the website URLs for for the people you're reaching out to. So it's going to have their first name and look like you're recording over their website or any public URL.
Yes.
And that's going to look really good. And the key thing too is it's not just that the video itself is personalized for them, because you're using their website in the video, the thumbnail they see is personalized to them too. And we've seen a lot of engagement for people clicking when there's a website versus just a video of your face. So the little bits of hyper personalization go a long way.
Thank you so much, Bethany. Check it out, guys. Senspark.com. Definitely an awesome tool, not only for this, but for recording videos and sharing with your team. There's so many applications for it. I'm not affiliated with Bethany. I'm a power user. And the only reason I have Bethany on board is I'm really impressed with the tool.
Sorry, can you
Yes, George.
can you put Tom's video back? It disappeared for some reason.
Yeah, sorry. My kid popped in and I turned it off and now I can't get it back on.
Yes, I will in 1 second, Tom, make host.
I
So I'm
tried
gonna
to do it.
I'm gonna continue real quick, guys. I'm gonna give the floor to Tom in a second, but in terms of also outreach, you want to design your sequence, be it you're using it directly from your Apollo or any third party. Some people use in different outreach sequences, but we are using VBOUT to craft those messages. Now it's not using my Gmail SMTP, but I can do a lot more volume than 50. Some companies, they buy dozens of inboxes and domains, and they try to rotate to use the Gmail servers. It can get quite complicated, and you can only do 50 or 40 outreach per email. In VBOUT, you can do a lot more. So let's assume I personalize my content with Bethany's videos. I upload them to VBOUT, and now I'm ready to personalize at scale. Obviously, I can build all these awesome sequences here to say, on day one, what I would like you to do is, just show you an example. Send the first invite with the video embedded and an SMS as well of the video embedded. You can personalize the MMS that's attached to a phone message. 2 days later, send a follow-up. It could be another video, it could be the same, or it could be just a refresher, and then build the sequence as you see fit. So the power of VBOUT here in the outreach process is that you can customize every single one of these, integrate them with tools like SendSpark, and hyper-personalize at scale. So this is some of the stuff you can do, along with creating content directly in VBOUT. I think every tool is going to natively have that. So if you integrate with ChatGPT, you can create emails, email copy, and SMS as well from VBOUT. Now, soon we're going to have the VBOUT AI chatbot that helps with the lead gen and lead capture and answering some basic pre-sale questions. That's hopefully launching sometime next week. Really excited about that release. And then I have Air.ai, and I'm going to leave the floor to you here, Tom. I know have you used Air.ai? Is that one of the tools you were talking about in your videos?
No, I'm familiar with it. I looked into it. It's interesting now with the FCC rules kind of coming at the AI cold callers. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. But I've had some people use it. I've been cold called by it. It's very, very interesting. You can kind of program it to do the calls for you. I just don't know where the legalities are going to go with it in the coming months because they're kind of cracking down on it. But I've heard good things.
It's one of the tools. I know the reason I chose it is I just took a deep dive and to understand the tool. It can leverage AI to do responses, cold calling. It can transcribe some things in the background. Obviously, it can run 24/7, which has its bads because I've received calls from AI at 12 a.m. in the morning, which wasn't too convenient. But the integrations is quite robust on that front. So if you want to try like an AI cold calling system or outbound calling system, that could be one of the solutions as well. The last two slides I have here from this end before I come back to you, Tom, is the closing side, which is pretty much closing the deal. Usually it involves negotiation, addressing concerns, and driving prospects to make purchase or signing a contract. So the job of AI is how to optimize this final stage to close more deals. Usually this happens at the account executive level when they're having deeper conversations. Some of the things that people are using AI, or some of the tools being used in AI, Gong.io is one of the tools that lets you analyze sales calls at scale. It pinpoints certain parts of the call that maybe you are using a lot of filler words, maybe you are using some negative words, positive words. So it really analyzes the call and the prospect interaction, gives you some deep insights and some actionable follow-up. It obviously generates transcripts and then focuses on the items that did lead to conversions. And you can listen to other sales calls as well if in your organization, so you can learn from your colleagues and other successful calls. So Gong.ai is a great tool if you want to have transcripts done. And then I have Zoom IQ. If you're using Zoom, obviously they are pushing a lot on the AI features, but the benefits of what I've seen so far from the tool is the ability to have to-dos and follow-ups. It's analyzing parts of the sentiment as well to identify if the lead is happy or not. And these are some advanced features, I believe, though, guys. So if you don't have the paid version, I don't think you should expect those features. And I think there are some that you haven't tested. It assists the sales rep in real time to pitch in the strategy. So keep an eye on those tools when it comes to Zoom. They're definitely pushing the envelope for real-time live call AI assistant, if you want to call it. And finally, I skipped the AI and the CRM, and I think this is where Tom have a lot of insights to add. But from my side, if you're using a CRM, some of the AI features you'd expect is the ability to analyze deals, to focus on the data that matters. Sometimes you have a lot of deals in the pipeline, and that could be a lot of noise. So identifying those deals that are ripe and require your attention could be a part of AI's focus. Revenue forecasting with more accuracy and getting some insights on existing sales process to see how you can optimize. I really wanted to skim through these and leave the floor a little bit to Tom. I know, Tom, you work with a lot of organizations to help them create outbound processes. So tell us a little bit of how AI is reshaping those processes in your company.
There's a lot, right? You've covered so many great tools. And when you're building an outbound motion, tech is a very important piece of how that's going to happen to, as Bethany said in the beginning, free up the reps, right? Most of your reps only have 6 hours a day to be selling. And when 80% of that is just getting to that process, that's a problem, right? Just for them to get through that. So getting into your processes, bringing in some tech to empower them to utilize that 6 hours to the best of their ability, right? To have lead scoring in there. You can leverage AI to lead score things. Marketers can use that to drive that. In the deals, like you said, your CRM is packed with information. Use it. Let the AI scrub through it and identify. You might think your buyer persona is one thing, but then it scans your deals and actually finds out that it's a completely different buyer persona that you should be going after, because that's who's signing most of your deals, right? There's AI, and like you said, with Gong, call recordings. My favorite are the Zoom, like when you're in demo and discoveries. My favorite is Sybil, SYBILL.ai. It gives an entire background to your meetings. You can actually be present in that conversation, especially as a founder. You don't have to take notes. You can be fully present. And then afterwards, it gives you a full synopsis of pain points, the dialogue, and even has the ability to do AI follow-up. So it can just plug right there and write you the AI follow-up email that you can cater to. Gong, nice. Chorus, yeah, Sybil.ai, like game changer, one of my favorites. I also help companies deploy like AI cold calling. So then you can do like Olive.ai, Get Replicate. Bethany saw my video with Get Replicate. You can actually take somebody's LinkedIn profile and cold call them in a simulator. So I took Bethany's profile and it created an AI version of Bethany, and I cold called her, cool. Right? And it created a simulation based on Bethany. I got the meeting. Really cool. Probably wouldn't have gotten it, but right? It's really cool. It gives you the practice. It gives you the practice to should be Get Replicate.ai. So put Get Replicate AI.
Put that in the chat, you guys.
So in here, you can actually you can go down, and down below, you can take on CAT, their simulator. It gives you scorecards. You can take your cold calls you already have and load it into here, and it will create a simulator based on your customer base. Nice. Or you could take a profile of somebody you wanted to call. Like you could put Richard in there, and it will create a simulation based on Richard's profile, and you can kind of take it on. Crazy part is it's actually very aggressive. Like you picked the wrong person. Like I tried a few people and I couldn't get a meeting. Bethany was the nicer one to me, and I was like, cool. Because some of them, they like really do replicate. Like it's crazy, but great way to get your reps to practice without, taking it live and burning your TAM. They can come in here and practice with role plays. So when I'm building cold call coaches, yeah, it's really cool. They're doing the AI is really changing things. And, I've been in the game since 2007. They didn't have this stuff, right? It was trial by error. Onboarding was painful. Now you can have a rep come in here and play around, get comfortable handling objections, positioning the product before they ever actually get on the phone live and miss opportunities or kind of bump and bruise through that. And so then you've got SendSpark, right? Doing AI dynamic videos. And back in 2019, I had to sit and send 50 videos a day, just doing that manually, right? And it was really struggle. It was a challenge to do. And that's why a lot of people didn't get into video. Now, SendSpark makes it like ridiculously easy, and all the customization you can do on the landing page, like it's just different. So when I'm talking with orgs, it's all about how to get into AI, how to change things for them to really allow everybody to actually do what we all want to do, which is actually just do our jobs that we love to do, right? I don't want to do all this admin stuff. I don't want to do the process stuff. AI can come in and change that whole game to where all you have to do is do what you love to do, which is either sell, be there for the customer, do the CEO stuff you need to do. All the rest of this stuff will, just do it for you. And you don't have to worry about it. So a lot of cool things. There's a lot of cool tools like VBOUT is coming out where they're now taking your rep's effort so they can track the effort that your rep is spending and kind of look at what that one right there. Yep, VBOUT. Brand new to the market. It's a database that'll actually show you your entire effort of your rep and what they're doing when you really need to know what's going on there and what the pipeline is like. So they kind of show you the effort there. So a lot of cool tools. I'm tapped into the tech space. I love all of them. I love what's happening here, and it's just making life so much easier for everybody involved.
Thanks for the share. I mean, look, it's all about tools to craft the proper process, right? And just like you said, you can do this manually and do it right and do it perfect, or you can do it at scale and do it great. Obviously a good plan executed today at scale is better than a perfect plan executed next week. I'm just quoting with some changes. So yeah, with that being said, I mean, there are so many tools, you guys. If you have time to test them out, that's great. If you don't, we gave you at least the foundation to do all three phases: prospecting, the outreach, and the closing. And when it comes to the human touch, you definitely need to put your own human touch. Don't expect AI to just replace everything completely, because that will not be true, at least for today. But you need your brand, you need your tone, you need your voice, you need to speak to your customers at the end of the day, and you need to be available on the other side. I don't think this can be 100% automated process from A to closing, but at least to get to speak to somebody or to get to a demo part where you interact via, training and other things is really key. But the tools are out, and it's really exciting time. If you're building your sales process, I really feel it's easier than ever now.
It is so easy. Makes it a lot easier.
So a quick question to Bethany and then you, Tom, and then we can just take any questions. By the way, George, I don't mean to ignore anybody on Facebook. If you have anything on Facebook, or you're doing okay there.
We're having some feedback, actually. Some people are asking questions. For example, Sihan asked if there's any LTD available for SendSpark or planned for the near future.
Just pay
Sorry,
for the license.
I was reading a Q&A question. I heard SendSpark, so I don't know what was said. I tuned in at SendSpark.
They want to know if there's a lifetime deal out there, Beth, that they can get in on.
There's no lifetime deal, but I'm happy to give everyone here a promo code. So can I maybe type one in the chat and send it out for you guys? Let me do that.
Yeah, please do. And you guys, you got to support the people building products. I know lifetime deals can be good for you to try it and have a good deal, but at the end of the day, you really want to support so we can continue building. So if you can't find a deal, use the promo. Trust me, if you can get one deal a year from using SendSpark, I mean, it justifies for paying for it.
I'll just say our pricing is really affordable, like especially if you compare us to competitors in the space. Like our goal is how do we make these AI tools to be really accessible. So while other people are charging like $3,000, $6,000 a month to start off, ours is like literally $49 a month, and you pay monthly and you get a 7-day trial. So like we are trying to make it as accessible as possible. But let me put in that promo code so you can get 30% off your first 3 months. I haven't made this promo code yet. I'll do it right after. So like give me like 15 minutes after we get off, and then I'll be live for you. But just use sales AI and it'll be 30%.
Thank you.
3 months.
Can we include it in the email outreach, Bethany? It's probably going to be going out to about 100,000.
Yeah, you can send that out as well.
Oh,
Actually,
over. There you go, Beth.
Yeah. So maybe they should get less for not being 25% off.
Right? You only get 20% off if you're not here.
Okay, so if you're
An extra
here,
10% for
if you're
being
here,
attended.
here's a demo. Otherwise, we'll just put a link back to you. That's it.
Oh.
Awesome.
Okay.
Anything
We
else,
have-
George?
Yeah, Kazim is asking, are you guys not looking to integrate prompt generator with VBOUT?
Prompt generator?
Yes.
We already have an AI assistant, which is you can type in directly into your panel and communicate with the VBOUT platform, which is pretty awesome. So if I can, I can go in here and go to my prompt. I have AI powered support. I can go into marketing assistance and say, can you get activities for, I don't know if I have Bethany at sendspark.com. I don't have it on this account. So I can get activities, I can add contact. We support so many different prompts right here for you. This is using ChatGPT, so you can literally create email campaigns. You can create posts that from this prompt to your account. All right. All right, so I know we spilled over, but this is an awesome topic. George, any other final questions on Facebook?
Yeah, few more questions. How does the Microsoft AI tool work?
Okay, that's a very big question, guys. This is, I mean, the integrations, I mean, they probably have hundreds of hours of tutorials on this. So start with the email and their CRM tool. I'm pretty sure you'll find some integrations there. Yeah, too short of a time to answer, sorry.
Another question, maybe that's big. Can you make a demo or give flow card on how to combine these tools, the tools that you presented, Richard, regarding prospecting, closing, and
Yeah, I mean, so far, my research is you have to do each one individually really well before you think about automating the process. You can patch them up using middleware connectors like Zapier or Pabbly or Connexit or Make or whatever you use. But there has to be, okay? There has to be. Don't be lazy. Go out and do some of the work done to prospect, get the list, export, consolidate. You're gonna have to do some of that manually. It could be exported actually to, some admin work. Freeing up your time, but there is a level of manual work involved, in my opinion, so far. That's all I can say for that.
Okay, great. And Adriana is asking, can you provide more information about the integration that VBOUT has?
With what? With SenseSpark?
Can
We
you
have a lot of
clarify?
integrations, but if it's SenseSpark integration, you simply copy the Bethany and her team built an awesome way to just generate those dynamic videos and click here. It will give you the exact format for the VBOUT integration option. And that will, which is like this, either it's animated GIF or the video URL direct. And you can literally just plug them inside your landing page builders and stuff like that. So it's highly personalized.
And emails, like you put that, I was like playing with that earlier today, making a newsletter. So if you wanted it to appear like a GIF, like a
Yeah.
video in the email, then you'd use that image URL and put it as the image source in your email builder, and then you can add the link to the video so people see both the
Wow.
image, like the animated GIF preview and then the full
This is
video.
exactly what I did here. I did a very basic test. So I created this design and I took the actual video or the image embed code is from SenseSpark. They give it to you. This will be a variable, but VBOUT detects all of that. And then when it lands in your inbox, it's going to change every recipient's background and name to the relevant one. So you guys handle that. We handle the gift, which is crazy. All right.
Peter, love to learn how to use VBOUT for sales outreach with SenseSpark outreach.
Yeah, I'm
Are
gonna do
you
a video
right?
actually. I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on how to combine both and just send out an email personalized to hundreds of people with one video and one email. I'll do that.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Word of the day is watermelon. Absolutely, John.
Yeah, it is.
Bethany, I think I said pineapple though. I don't know. And replace the name.
No, no way. It's got to be
I don't know,
watermelon.
I would test that before you send it out.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, pineapple.
Caribbean vibe. All right.
The wrong vibe out there, Richard. It's got to be watermelon.
I have a last question for both of you guys. And before we conclude, I know there's a lot to cover, but 6:20, 20 minutes over. Tom, if you would advise our attendees on the next step to forming their outbound, what would you recommend? And also, how can they reach you?
If you're moving to an outbound sales motion, you really just want to focus on the three pillars, right? It's people, process, and tech. Really iron that out. What I would say is create your playbook, really iron out before you bring in that first sales hire. Don't expect them to just kind of figure it out and just throw them out there to just determine what's best for your market or how to go about it. You've been in the trenches selling your product for the past year or so. Build them a playbook with some basic stuff to get them, because there's a lot of questions. Bethany will know this, right? There's a lot. They need their handheld. They're not your product. They don't know. But if you could create a playbook firsthand, it really simplifies and unifies them. And then just really focus on making sure they have the right people or the right process and the right tech behind them to make their job easy and more efficient. That's what I would look into. And if you need help in all of that, you can reach me on LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn. My profile is fully enriched. You can find my newsletter. You can find my website from there. I'm happy to offer a strategy call to anybody that wants to talk about it and find out what part of the venture you're in and what I can kind of help you find and discover. But yeah, just come hit me up on LinkedIn. I am your future homie-in-law, as I like to say.
I like that pitch.
I love that.
I get DMs about it all the time. I haven't changed it because it just works, and people love it. And they're like, "Yo, can I be your homie-in-law?" Every time I get a connection note, like, "How do I become a homie-in-law?" And it really works well. So I keep it there.
That's funny. Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate you joining
Absolutely.
us. Bethany, what would be your obviously how to reach you? You already put your details there, but what would you recommend the next step for somebody taking on their next sales step?
Well, I mean, I would say definitely give video a try. I think we've just had people see such great results using it for all parts of the sales process, even more like middle funnel where people are, signing up or scheduling meetings and things like that. So I'd say, we gave you that discount for SendSpark. Sign up. If you need any help getting started, like right from within the app, you can schedule an onboarding session and someone can take you through it, show you how to set things up. Even if you use a different language or, a different email platform or something else, like we'll be there to help you and say, just give it a shot. And hopefully you see some good results right away that make it worth your time to set it up.
Thank you so much. And my 2 cents to it is just go out and get started. That's the first step. Honestly, with AI, it might sound overwhelming, but it's actually once you find the right tools, which we shared with you, the toolkits that you can start with without you don't have to spend thousands of hours. We already did that. And I'm documenting because I'm recreating the sales approach with VBOUT, especially outbound prospecting with AI to do it at scale, highly personalized. I'm going to be sharing all those secrets. So if you are with us on our Facebook group, just expect the release once I have it all buttoned up and tested with results. I won't publish it until I get those results. Right now, I gave you the foundation of what I spent the last 4 months researching. And I'll give you maybe a 4 month later, the results of that approach. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Obviously, thank you, George, for helping put the content together and moderate. And most thankful for Bethany and Tom for your presence and your awesome contribution in the sales outbound process and today's webinar. Thank you for joining. And we'll be sharing the recording and everything after. Everybody who attended, thanks for your time. And we'll see you next month on the upcoming webinar. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome. Thanks,
Absolutely.
everyone.
See you, everyone.
Thank you, Bethany, Tom, and everyone.
Bye-bye.